Hello everyone, welcome back to Workers and Resources. This will be episode 15, I think. And I am going through the super exciting task of recycling my existing fleet of vehicles. So I'm scrapping all of those old combines, which are 20 years old. And the reason is their wear and tear just increases dramatically. They break down very, very fast. So instead of just trying to maintain them, it's a lot easier for me to replace them now before they start costing like $500,000 each. Now, obviously I utilize this little storage over here just as a placeholder. I need to scrap those, I need to scrap a bunch of those, I need to scrap a bunch of those vehicles, and a lot of those. So that's a lot of things to scrap. But we'll get to that. I started upgrading the fleet with some stuff, so we have some new excavators, the ones that can drive themselves. Some big open hulls, some 45-meter tower cranes, so they can assist with reconstructions and a couple other things. We have a new roller. All of this needs to be scrapped as well, just for now this is a placeholder. Couple new vehicles here. So there is a lot going on. I upgraded all my open hulls here, since these move all my steel, prefab, bricks, boards between the locations, so I needed something that can carry a really large amount. That's why I went with the 27-meter ones. This is now full, so my helicopters can use them. And let's see what happened. You will see a bunch more planning here on the city. We'll talk about that shortly. Still planning phase, it's very subject to change, but we are on June 1989. This is ready. I bought new vehicles and replaced these existing ones. All the buildings here are ready. I have an excellent amount of fertilizer waiting here. I'm collecting all my biological waste here, which I'm converting into fertilizer. They need to empty that. This is other waste that needs to go being... interesting. Why are they not collecting this? I'll have to have a look at that. Then we have the synthetic fertilizer over here. We haven't produced any, so for this yield we won't have the absolute maximum, but we are getting there. I did connect sewage. It's almost ready. Just building a couple sewage tanks here, which I haven't. A water substation for the people. So things here are progressing. Our fire station here is also ready, and we build a little sewage discharge on this spot. So probably in the next 2 months we will start harvesting this and start seeing some good yield. Obviously the train lines are not ready yet, but that's okay. I've been using a bunch of dirt roads just to build this stuff faster. And slowly deconstructing everything, tearing down all this infrastructure that is not needed, emptying the large farms, pulling the fertilizer out, and I moved it all over to our new farming HQ, and all the remaining one I'm just going to sell, just to get it out of the Republic before it clogs up everything. I don't want to burn it. And a trick I like to use when I deconstruct things in an area, I set up like 5-6 of the temporary demolition offices with the vehicles I want. I set up 1, 2, 3 of the free dumps I need to empty soon. So one for construction, one for mixed waste, and one for hazardous, because that's the main things you're gonna get while deconstructing things, or if they break down. Fuel, because, you know, they need fuel. More things are being deconstructed here. I keep moving a lot of these crops out and still producing a bunch of meat. So until this runs out completely of meat and crops, I'm not going to tear it down yet. Breaking down a lot of the rail tracks, roads, just slowly breaking everything down. Let me take you to our coal and brick industry. Here we had a little bit of an accident. These burned down, and I couldn't save it with helicopters. So what did I do? I built a fire station next to it with its own helicopter. So we got a nice Mi-6 here to support this area and further support this area. So that's going on there at the moment, and it's being rebuilt pretty much in time. kind of sad that for the tunneling, there are no machines that they can utilize. Usually, in the game, if you want to find out what they can use in a phase, you just go here where it says Assign Construction Offices, and mouse over on the vehicles, and you will see these are the mandatory, and if they are optional, so let's say you have groundworks, you will see bus as mandatory, and excavators as optional, because they can also replace things, like workers. So that's being fixed in time. I have a pretty decent amount of steel, I think, at the moment. Yes, I have 600 here, and I think this is pretty full as well. I had to redo this connections over here because they were getting stuck, so I cut off the boards completely and just reconnected those temporarily until I make a better thing. So I have a lot of that. I'm getting a bunch of steel from all the deconstruction here. That's actually why I have this little flatbed going between this and this, just so I can keep emptying it, and I'm getting a bunch of mechanical components as well, which is happy times. Keep in mind the storage between the mechanical components and the electronic components here is shared. So the moment this is this is 60%. This can reach, let's say, 7, and this can reach 2, and this will completely stop working, even though it looks like they have more space. So keep that in mind. Okay, what's next? Let's talk tunnels. So this will be my city support infrastructure. I'm going to build all of this into a city with its own separate sections. I want to experiment with it and I want to see what it will look like. So I will use this as the power grid to do all of my switching. I want to utilize as many underground cables as I can, just to make it look prettier instead of having to pull cables all over the place. I want to also utilize priorities, so use, for example, solar and wind first, and then when that runs out, switch to what we produce, and if that runs out as well, then start buying. So I allocated this big space to myself. Here we have a big cableway station. I learned from my mistakes on the other one. So we have a cableway station here, and it pretty much goes on a somewhat straight line all the way down to the base, where I will have my first residential area. And this is probably what will be built first. So I can take some people and bring them up here. So what's up here? We have 2 heating plants right next to each other. We have an aggregate storage for coal, which we will bring through a train line. Conveyor belt just to feed both of them, so you take from the aggregate, you go here and you do that. And there is an aggregate unloader. Are you connected or are you not connected? You are not connected. Oops. Okay, so I need to move you. Okay, I'll need to move that and fix it up. But yeah, this is also meant to be connected there to unload into this. Okay, good catch. We have a waste collector here, which will be strictly for biological waste. And why is that? I want my biological waste here, so I will have a train going over here, passing through this, and delivering it straight to this biological collector. And then you will see that I also extended this tunnel under the water through a ridiculously big and expensive tunnel all the way here, where I am collecting another one. So pretty much, instead of utilizing my main train grid, I'm creating a separate line just for waste. And you guys are stuck. Fun. So I will bring all of my biological waste produced in this city here. I will move it with a train all the way there, over here, process it, utilize it, and go from there. Might even be worth setting up on this side some sort of incinerator to burn anything excess, but we'll see how we go. Then, what else do we have here? Since there will be a lot of train lines built, I put a new rail construction office that will supersede the one over there with its connection, so it can go left, it can go right. I give it its own open storage so I can bring in resources to continue build things, and when I deconstruct things, I can easily collect it. A transfer station, so I can collect a lot of the waste from things I break down. We have a train aggregate, so I can use this as a buffer train to bring gravel instead of depending on trucks. Because obviously when you have to build like millions of meters, or I should say thousands of kilometers of track, you're gonna need a lot of resources and you're gonna need a lot of gravel. Here we have 3 medium distribution offices, a cargo train station, which I will use to bring things like clothes, food, etc. over here. They feed into this warehouse. I have a big mid storage here, and of course a road cargo station so I can load and pull things out. Additionally, an oil fuel tank and a place for trucks to go and refill. So this will be my supporting infrastructure for the city. 2 construction offices, which will become the local reconstruction offices, since this massive town will have a lot of things that need to be reconstructed. So it's gonna require a lot of things. And then we have my favorite, pipes. So usual principle, 2 big water wells going through 2 large pipes feeding into what do you call it? Water purifier, water treatment, a big water treatment plant with 3 different outputs, just so I can split it as I want without heavily depending on one over the other. So I took a corner of this one and threw a couple splitters, one to provide water for the people on the farming area. Another one I connected a little truck loader. So if for some reason I need to disconnect something and I need trucks to provide water around the city, they can use this directly instead of depending on the water treatment plant itself. So this can go here and literally keep pulling from this. So if I want to do maintenance on this line, I have this as redundancy and so on. So there is that. Then we have a sewage treatment plant, a large one. And this can process, I believe, 400. Where are you? You're here. You can process 400 cubic meters of water. So that's how much you can process, and they clean half of that in terms of pollution. And then, of course, we're going to dump it back out in the water. The catch here is these buildings require tremendous amount of power. So you use 7.6 megawatts. You use 9.2. The pumps themselves use, where are you? 39 each. And then the walls use another 5.7. So this area by itself is going to consume a lot of my power. One of the reasons I want to have it next to the power grid. Plus, this is non-polluters, this is non-polluters, some of this stuff are polluters. That's why I want my people here. Now, when we start collecting our crops, what's the plan? We need to take them away from here and we need to take them to the industry. And the best way to do that? Underground tunnels. So welcome to the madness. So we have an underground, so these guys will come out of here. We have an underground tunnel going around the city, all the way here, all the way across, and it will exit right next to this distribution office and connect directly to the grain storage. So it will bypass absolutely everything, and it will be a point-to-point delivery. We will revisit the signals here and change a little bit of this layout, but that's the goal. You'll see I started planning some other tunnels. I haven't finalized them yet, just sort of using them as a measuring stick. I want to change this line maybe into 4 lanes. I want to use maybe the 2 middle ones as an express, and the 2 side ones are branches for the industry. So maintain the passengers in the middle and just branch off when I need. Same with resources. Because I don't mind if my resources get clogged up, I do mind if my workers get clogged up. We also lost about a couple thousand people because we don't have housing for them, so they just run out of our republic, people die, you know, all the usual stuff. So this is progressing. Exciting times. How are we doing? We're doing okay on alcohol. Food, we're sort of managing. But you have enough food, or we're gonna scream in a minute? Okay, you have a good amount of food, so for now we are fine. Yeah, I started also tearing this down. I need to repurpose this and I need to revisit my distribution centers over here. They are really not keeping up with their tasks. So I'm gonna reclaim this space and move those into another location. Expensive, but it's fine. We can produce all of the resources. This is being consumed at a good rate, so nice and healthy. Same here, the soil maintains itself. And that's where I am at the moment. Something I learned while messing around with this is, if you have an underground tunnel, let's say with tracks, and you build another track on top, the game tries to snap it together. And if you delete the one on the top, you delete the one on the bottom. If you delete the one on the bottom, you cannot replace it. So it becomes a pain. You have to completely remove everything and completely redo everything. Keep that in mind if you are trying to stack your underground tunnels with regular rail. Next, City Central. This is where I want my large train station to be to serve my city. I have 4 tracks merging into 2. Underground tunnel, so they have their own dedicated tunnel, crossing over this and coming out on their own line. That's where I said maybe I'll keep those 2 as the expressway in the middle and then use 2 branching ones. Still working on that plan, still just planning. For now I have spent probably 4 to 3 million just buying new vehicles and upgrading things. I have already equipped this with the vehicles I want for reconstruction. So I went with 4 dumpers, 4 cranes, 4 mixers, 4 cover hulls, 2 more open hulls, I should say. No, 2 open hulls of this size so they can transfer the tower cranes, 2 of the large ones for resources, and 4 buses because, you know, buses. You need workers, you like it or not. And my usual sneaky construction offices here for terraforming because quite a bit of it is required. And we're slowly but surely getting there. Looking at this and the coverage it has for repairing vehicles, it will cover all of this area. Most of this area, if not all, once it's built. And this part of the city, and probably the middle. So I know my trains eventually will start getting old. So maybe I will set up where are you? A railway end station somewhere over here with another vehicle repair station just for my trains and everything else in the center of the city. But I'm still working on that. And another thing that I want is, I'm thinking maybe in the city central, I'm going to make some sort of touristy area. I was looking a bit at the tourist buildings, and they are quite interesting. I've never used them before. So it will be pretty much exploring new territory. But look at this. I love the shape, and it has a very good rating. It's expensive, but it can shelter 600 tourists, which is insane. It's not really expensive, like 13 tons of steel for this monstrous building. I'll take it. It's better than my housing. Okay, so there is that. A lot of these train lines, I might flip them around, still figuring out what's the ideal way I want to use them. But for now, this was my priority. Last episode I said we will need to start looking at the other city and troubleshooting some of the problems. So let's see what's going on here. Let's catch a quick glimpse. What are you guys complaining about? One person cannot go to the hospital, he's fine. 11 to the prison, not much we can do about that. So we have a crime of 724. What is crime? 30,000 and crime, you are here, not patrolled. So this is patrolled, so we have this, up here. Yeah, and because it's a mine, it has a very high amount of workers. Interesting. And we need some police presence down this way as well. And I think we probably need a good fire station on this side as well. Decisions. Also, this went and sold another full load of clothes and brought me back like 5 million or 4. So this is collecting them nice and steadily. It pretty much sells once every couple of years or so. So that's a pretty good state to be in. What else is wrong with this city? People cannot enjoy culture. Cannot enjoy culture and sports. Okay. Who cannot do what? Culture. You guys have culture. You guys have culture. You have culture. This is weak for culture. Okay. So that's easily fixed. Are you the only ones? Do you have any complaints here? No, you guys are fine. Okay, so something for culture up here. Noted. Next, you said sports. You said sports. You guys have this right next to you. How do you not have access to sport? Are you kidding me? And this has huge capacity. Is it just the matter that you guys don't prefer it or what? And you also have this, the sports dynamo. So these guys are fine, you guys are not. 500 people have computers. Oof. That is interesting. Okay. So we don't have a capacity problem here. And for culture, this is for culture. Okay, that might not be enough. So I can definitely upgrade that. Yeah, I think that will be okay. Okay. Electricity is somewhat okay here, but I think I'm having a problem with power on this side. I need to keep an eye on this, especially during the night. Something funky goes with power. I see it flashing. And I do know that this one gets almost fully saturated at points, especially like when the industry kicks in. So while this one is helping, it's not enough. It's not running at full capacity to keep going. So just need to keep an eye on it. Also, I'm tearing down this and you got stuck. How do you got? You got stuck. Go away. Stop breaking my stuff. Thank you. Since we're no longer using the train here, I'm just tearing down all of this infrastructure, cleaning it up. At least the game is smart enough to start from the end. I think. Game here about to prove me wrong. Where are you going? Are you building or deconstructing? What are you doing? Hello? Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, I'll have to get rid of some still. That hurts me, but that should speed you up. And now you want to go home. Of course you do. Okay, did break it apart. Okay. I need to remember to pause this. Oh, I did. Okay. This is just my little blueprint to copy when I want to set up my thing. Also, I better submit these. So pause, start construction, and wish for the best. Now, I need to pause a bunch of things here because it will go crazy. So you're not building these. You can build the roads, that's fine. Honestly, you can build all of it. Yeah, it needs to be built. I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to change this or this up here. I'm only going to quickly fix these. So let me quickly do that. Let's remove you. Aggregate storage of 2,000. Too much. 1,000. Rotate. So something like that, and that should be okay. Yep. And now let's connect one of the roads. You can go there, and that's fine. If we look at the cost of these train tracks, they're scary. You only show me the small bit. Can I connect you all so I can see the full price? Give me this. Yes, yes, yes. Connect, connect, connect. I cannot connect you, but I can connect you and you. And you're fine. Okay. How much do you cost? Oh boy, that's a lot of bricks. 57,000 workdays. Wow. Okay. That's an expensive tunnel. And what about this one? So let's quickly... Where are you? So you guys go here, you go under this. Nothing to merge, nothing to... Oop, merge this. You're fine. Because if anything, that's one of the biggest ones. Okay, merge this, merge this. I love the merge button. Those are staying there. Merge and merge. And of course trying to fight like all the other tunnels, all the other pipes. It's a bit of a chore, but it's rewarding at the end. 154,000. Yeah, 154,000 work days, 373 tons of steel, almost 4,000 tons of bricks. Yeah, that will consume a lot of the stuff I'm producing, but that's fine. I'm happy with it. That's what I want. And some time has passed. We are on 1992. And we are setting up a new bus line. Now, you might wonder what happened during all this time. Well, let me quickly catch you up. So, first of all of this construction is done. We are progressing with the tunnels, which will get there eventually, probably in the next couple of years. I think we will be at the point that those are working. At the moment, I am moving all of my crops with trucks during the off-season, which is not ideal, but for now it sustains me, and I have a train running back and forth, keeping food, alcohol, and meat going. I extended these farms over here so I can replicate this setup down on this side. And while observing this, I realized something. So, here we have our synthetic fertilizer. This building creates mixed waste. The mixed waste this one produces, it does not go in this building. And the same is true for the compost plant. And the reason for that is it's mixed waste that just has other waste. So what I ended up doing is I ended up setting a truck to actually collect it. So this one from the composting plant, for example, will go pick everything up and we'll take it into this small incinerator where I will just keep burning it into us. Our biological waste here is being built up, I should say. Fertilizer is nice and healthy. And what are we missing here? We're missing something. So you cannot store or export water. I think you guys don't have drinking water. And you don't have drinking water. Why? Is it because it didn't give you a water connection? No, you have a water connection. Ah, yes, it's part of this bigger setup. Okay, we will action that. Looked like there was something here. Now, I started tearing down a bunch more stuff here, clearing up everything, flattening a little bit. So the next thing will be moving this wood industry out of here into a new location and expanding it accordingly. And the last thing that will move out of here is this heating plant, because at the moment it's still supporting this city. If we look at the amount of workers I have over 1,000 people who need their own flat, and I need to move this population, which is about 7,000. So I started building some stuff in the residential area here. And they're building them very, very fast currently. So I'm putting a new radio station, since I'm gonna start tearing this one down. A new fire station over here. Now, you will see that I used one helipad with 3 and 3 single ones. I couldn't fit the second one with 3 over here because it has a larger footprint than the triple one. That's why I went with this. But this would allow me to house up to 6 helicopters. We have a dance hall, we have a big pub, cinema, cafe, of course, a hospital. I think this small one, well, small, this medium one will be fine for the time being. Here we are setting up a school and we're setting up a kindergarten as well to cover all the needs of our citizens. Of course, a shopping center with the usual road cargo station. I need to set up power here, I haven't done that yet, we will do that together. Here is my bus station, which can reach all of these big Dnipro flats. Heat exchanger, which rudely decided to ignore my hospital, but so be it. We will fix that. We got a little bit of traffic going back and forth here. I tried adding some one-way roads just to speed up the process. Fun fact, when you record and you mute yourself to cough, you need to remember to unmute yourself. So let me repeat pretty much what I just went through all over again. So I have over here 3 bus end stations just so we can organize some buses, 2 technical services so they can maintain the needs of the citizens over here, and 2 pumping stations. So I connected those 2 lines over here. I'll get a 3rd one at some point. And my goal is to cover this area, those 2 blocks, let's call them, with 1 heating plant, and then have the ability to expand to the city central and this residential 2 area, depending on the capacity. Once this is ready and we can bring people, we will look at it together and I will show you how I'm gonna go about deconstructing the city and kickstarting this one. Because this will need to happen in stages. Another thing I will completely demolish is those train lines and redo them all together, just clean them up, tidy them up. And I'm really debating having another construction office with helicopters. I might save that for the next episode. We'll see. Money-wise, we have some money, but we're not super rich. We get probably about 4 or 5 million every 3 years, where we sell clothes, but that's our main income. Obviously we sell a lot of oil and bitumen, but this is just pretty much evening out our cost of loans and the cost of other goods that we import to actually do a lot of this construction and everything else. Small update on waste. With all the deconstruction going, I thought we would run into a situation with us, but we actually haven't yet. So this is maintaining a pretty healthy level. Ash-wise, we're up to 52 tons, and this is running pretty much consistently. So we actually dissipate more than we actually produce currently, which is good, which is what we want. Also, I finished scrapping a bunch of vehicles that I had over here to scrap. Got a few new garbage containers, which we will move around. A lot of vehicle management pretty much going. Here's something interesting. When you send an excavator here to wait, they actually remain on these temporary spots. They do not go at the back. So if you send 3 excavators over here, then you're gonna run into a problem because no other vehicle will be able to go in. So remember that if you start utilizing those. I think this happens only with excavators and bulldozers. I haven't found any other vehicle. I bought a used MI-10. I couldn't resist. It was pretty worn down, but in pretty much 2 years I managed to quote-quote fully repair it. So this will be very beneficial to our fleet of helicopters. I'm tearing this down since I need to reclaim that space and rearrange a few things. And talking about liquid fertilizer, I didn't realize that this water quality will be much higher than what this can provide, because this fluctuates, right? So the more things happen here, they create pollution, so the quality goes down. So that might be a little bit of a problem. I really didn't want to use clean water for this, because they do absorb a fair amount of water. But I think I might have to. Otherwise I would need to move this well somewhere else. So let me just quickly clear that for now. And flush this down. And they should start operating here. It's okay that they don't have drinking water. That's workable. Okay, 86. So that should keep them working for a little bit. And this will start building our liquid fertilizer stock. Now, let's talk a little bit about this setup. At the moment, it's pretty simple. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 Dnieper floods. And pretty much every 8 of them I have a stand for waste over here, which can service all 4 of them. Well, all 8 of them. And we need to specialize them. Good thing that I remembered. So metal scraps, biological, give them 2. There is no hazardous here, so that should be fine. Then we have the other one. Is it built? Yes. So we will just quickly take this, copy, and paste that over here. We will need a lot of power for all of this, but that's okay. Whoop. What's going on here? You guys are trying to finish those roads. It'll be okay. I set up another heat exchanger here just so I can start covering the hospital and some of this over here. I was even tempted to pull a pipe from here going there, but I don't really think it's worth it. It will be too much still for nothing, and then I'll have to tear it down again, so it will be a waste. So based on this, I think on the next episode we are going to get this city going, start demolishing the original starter city and moving our people over here, and we should be able to get some of the services for this city going. Okay, we're gonna wrap up this episode here. There is a lot I want to do, but I should probably start it over or on a new episode instead of the tail end of this one. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to drop a comment, like, subscribe. Apologies, this episode took a little while longer. There were some technical difficulties. That's why it's split into 2 parts that I'm gonna merge as one for you guys. And on the next one, we'll get this new city going. Bye bye.